I am at up by the Straits of Mackinaw. Stopped by Wilderness State Park. Beautiful park. It's not even open right now, but used to take the kids camping here years ago. Been a few Bigfoot sightings in this area. I actually personally investigated one for the BFRO. I don't remember the year. I'd have to look it up, but basically a mountain biker. It was a unique one. He was pedaling along on the trail we're about to go down and hit a wall of stench, as he put it. He said it was a combination of BO and human, like, just sweat stink. It was so strong it just gave him an instant fear reaction, and he just pedaled for all he was worth till he got back to the campground, which is a few miles away. But it really rattled him. I mean, I wasn't going to come up and actually investigate it at first, but he just insisted, kept calling people. Finally, I drove up here, and when I did get up here, I hiked the trail in. Actually, I came from the backside from a two-track that comes into the rear of it. I mean, I happened to find it on a map. Basically, it's like a deer trail, but hiked that in, which was a shorter distance. I'd have to find it now. I don't remember where it's at, but came to this lean-to, which was set up for hikers and cross-country skiers. And as I got to that, which was the area that he had his encounter, huge limb snapped into the swamp there beside me. Very large. It sounded like if you took a 2x4 and snapped it, like a gun going off almost. And I hung around there for quite a while, 45 minutes or so, ate a lunch, seeing if anything else was going to happen. Nothing happened. I hiked both ways for a little ways, come back. That was the only experience I had, but I happened to be going by this area today. So let's go take a look. That, people, is a big rock. I'm 6'1", and it's way taller than me. And that's just the part that's sitting on top of the ground. Pretty cool. Alright, we're at the trailhead. It's a few mile hike in. Real easy trail. Probably kick up some deer along the way, like we did last time I was here. That was about a year ago, so let's roll. Alright, this gives you a basic overview of the park. Pretty good sized park. I can't remember how many thousands of acres it is, but pretty good. Let's see, we are right here. And we are gonna hike down to here. To that lean-to. Go by this cabin. And this right here is the area of that mountain biker's encounter, and where I had the large limb snap. It could have been a bear. I'm not saying what it was. I don't know. There's a bear in this area. So, beautiful day out. It's 55 degrees right here. It was 65 south of here. You know, you can go on these little outings over and over and over, have nothing happen, but if you don't get out here and do this, it's a sure bet that nothing will happen, because you're not going to available to experience it. That's kind of interesting. That right there came from here. Not sure if a bear tore that apart or what. It didn't just fall over by itself. Not seeing any evidence of a park vehicle that had driven back here past the gate. Just by looking at the branches on the ground, none of them have been run over by a motor vehicle. Interesting. I think that was flipped the other way and broke off from the top of that. It's a boulder embedded into the ground. Very lush cedar swamp through here. Cedar swamps are full of life. Okay, I was wrong. There has been a vehicle through here. Fresh tracks. Like I said, it was gated. It is gated off, so park personnel are the only ones that can drive back here. There's a cabin back here, so good chance they were servicing that, getting it ready for the season. I think maybe this fall I may actually come back here and rent this cabin for a few days. Bring the mountain bike and the kayak and go out and adventure a little. This is at the very northern tip of the Lower Peninsula. Definitely had those ice storms down here a while back. This is just a trail, so what you can see from here, there's a lot of trees down that direction. There's some trees there, snapped from ice. Really took its toll on the northern part of the state here, northern Lower Peninsula. I just came from Gaylord and they were really hard hit down there. They had tree removal crews all over the place, cutting and grinding. The rest area, just south or just north of Gaylord, they had a crew in there basically clear cutting the rest area, all the hardwoods and grinding everything, because they just stripped all the trees of all their branches. Another trail closed. As you can see, just falling stuff everywhere. A lot of that stuff's still green, so same signs. Yeah, that's what the vehicle is doing back here. They were clearing all this shit out. This is all ice damage stuff. That's all the stuff was across the trail. Come back through and chainsawed it out of here. I'll probably hit the side trails here shortly before the season opens up for tourists. Well, that puts a twist on things. If I see tree snaps, now I can't really link it to Bigfoot. Unless they're twisted around a few times, which I have seen. A lot of ice damage. It's a very high ridge up there. The peak of tourist season, it would be if you wanted to watch people, that would be an ideal spot to do it from. Enough cover, and you still got a good vantage of the trail here. I could have swore I just heard voices. And I'm pretty sure there's nobody out here. There's no vehicles anywhere on this end of the park. So I drove through the park. Odd. I just had my ears pop like a kind of a elevation change, even though there's not. You had that little like a whirl whirl kind of weird sensation in your head. Interesting. All the bird noises have stopped. I've had birds around me the whole walk out here. Now I got nothing. Oh, we do have people out here. There's a pickup. Well, that would explain the voices. So, there is a park vehicle out here. Assuming they're clearing trails that way. That would have been the voices I heard. See, a lot of the stuff is easily explainable sometimes. Now we got birds again. Funny how you go through pockets like that. It was probably only quarter to half mile. I've been filming the entire time because why roll footage just to do it? But of course, just the whole atmosphere changes. I read and watch a lot of David Plei's stuff, The Missing, which honestly has little or nothing to do with Bigfoot. But the Missing 411 stuff. A lot of strange stuff out in forests. There's frogs. That is one of my favorite sounds. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but there's frogs back in that direction. That means spring is officially here. Wood frogs and the peepers are out. They should be out at my house here any day now. Love going to sleep at night with the window open listening to frogs. And all the frogs just quit. My first outing with the BFRO in 2008, I believe it was, over in Scandia, Marquette County, Michigan. have a plane flying overhead right now, but my son had a face-to-face encounter, and our tent was only 150 yards from where he had his encounter. And that night, as we crawled into our tent about 2 a.m., frogs were just deafening because it was early May, mid-May. And all of a sudden they just went silent. And the only time they do that is if there's something out there, because frogs sense it and they just go quiet. It's a safety mechanism. Paying attention to the sounds of birds, squirrels, frogs. It's kind of like paying attention to your dog at home when they sense there's something outside the house. An intruder, a deer, other wildlife, people that shouldn't be there. Same concept. Animals have amazing senses. If you can tune into those, you can kind of broaden your sense of your surroundings. What a gorgeous day for a walk. Man, it's beautiful out here. So glad spring is here. Finally got all the snow off the ground at my house. No snow in sight. Been that way for about the last week. What is today? April 23rd, 2025. Another trail closed off. All right, we are at 11. Right here. So we're about the halfway mark. We're going to go down to this corner. We're almost 2 miles into it already, so 1.5 miles, 2 miles, somewhere in there. Frog chirping over that direction. I see the outhouse for the rental cabin up here. Yeah, got a nice outhouse, complete with a broom. That's odd, there's porcupine shoe marks inside the outhouse. Interesting. A fire pit over there. Outdoor grill. Hand pitcher pump. Picnic table. Sure this is locked. Got a wood stove, kitchen table, and bunks. Just the bare necessities. But that's all you really need. Clean out for a fireplace. actually looks like a BB or something hit it. Odd. Sled for hauling wood in the winter. Looks like they need to replenish the woodshed. According to that, we're at about 54 degrees. Beautiful setting though. I wouldn't mind hanging out here for a few days. Be an interesting place to do some night maneuvers. Thermal and night vision. Right around the cabin here, you got open enough area to where you can see with thermal. I'm gonna pop a squat on the picnic table and take a break. Oh. There's a guy from West Branch. He passed away a couple years ago, Phil Shaw. Nice guy. Him and his wife had a sighting, roadside sighting, up in Canada while they were on vacation a number of years ago. And that's what got him into the subject. And he started doing speeches. I helped him with his first couple speeches. He was deathly terrified to get in front of people, which it doesn't bother me. They were over, I think it was the library in West Branch. It's been so long ago now. I mean, that was 15 years ago or more. But we did help him do the first couple speeches, and he was fine after that. And he started collecting sightings. For a brief period, he was with the BFRO. But he ended up getting some sightings on the south end of the park, which had a technical glitch there. As I was saying, Phil Shaw got a hold of some reports on the south end of outside of the park here, but on just south of the park. And him and a friend of his, Phil had this notion of dropping one of these with a rifle, which sounds real easy, but besides this being a really bad idea, because you probably end up dying, because they're never alone. They travel in family groups. But he bought a 308. I don't know what kind. I've never seen it. That would be an awful light cartridge for that duty, but it could be done, I suppose, with a headshot. But anyways, he bought a night vision scope for it, and he was an older guy. He had some health issues, I think, kinda. He would have difficulty, let's put it that way, with long walks and things like that. But they were set up in a blind just south of here, outside of the park, and it would be sitting here at the cabin that direction. They were some kind of blind. They were separated, maybe two different blinds. They were laying down to rest. It was dark out. It was night. But I know Phil actually seen mosquitoes out. First one of those I've seen this year. They actually seen Bigfoot come out of the woods. And obviously knew they were there. But I don't remember if he wasn't comfortable with the shot, or he just decided this is a really bad, dumb idea. Don't take a shot. But he was able to watch it through the night vision scope for quite a while. So they are in this area. Yeah. Phil had a passion for the subject, I know that. He, and if I thought you could actually drop one, prove it to science, it was just as simple as bringing in one specimen, have at it if you think you can do it, but it's not that easy. The government already knows they exist. These things have abilities that we don't understand. And I'm sure, like everything else, the government wants to weaponize everything for their own use. They would love to, and I'm sure they are studying their abilities, but I'm not anti-kill. I'm not pro-kill. I personally am not out to trying to bag one. Do I think I could do it? I think I could shoot one. I think I could kill one. But what am I going to do with a 1,000-pound body, 1,200-pound body afterwards? I mean, I always tell people, if you're going to, if you stumble across one, somehow been hit by a semi, out in the woods, died of whatever, you're not dragging it out of the woods. I mean, it'd be like dragging an elk out, more than an elk. You're not going to do it. Like trying to drag a moose out. Cut off a hand, a foot, and a head. And that's going to be probably upwards of 80 pounds or more. Because you're not dragging that body out. And if you go get help and come back, chances are that body's going to be gone. Because the other family members are coming for it. But that's just my philosophy on the subject. So we're going to get going to that lean-to. Okay. Heard a howling in that direction a couple minutes ago. I don't know if it was a wolf, somebody's dog off at a distance. It's quite a ways away, but I would think if it was a dog, it would have done it more than just once. Huh. Never quite understood why they have a gate here. But they do. And there's their lean-to. Go just down over that little knoll over there. That's where it turns right. Heads to the west end of the park. There's trails coming out from the south side of the park. Some from out, a couple trails. I mean, when I say trails, I mean single track, like deer trails almost. That's the way I come in the first time when I originally investigated this back in like 2009 or 10, somewhere in there. I don't remember the year now. Not sure why you'd have a fire there when you have a fireplace up there. Somebody had it ready to go. A pile of twigs. Nice little lean-to. Not sure what this tarp is for. Take a little I'll sit down for a minute. But yeah, I came out here that direction right there to the south is where that large limb snapped. Like I said, it would sound like a 2x4 going off, being snapped. Kind of loud as like a 22 show, so it was something sizable. I went down there, it was this thick blow-down swamp. I didn't go back in there. Could have been a bear. It's always possible, but bears, if you do hear them, they sound like a bulldozer. This was just one snap. So, this is near the location where that mountain biker had his experience. That direction is outside of the park. It was where Phil Shaw and his friend seen one through night vision. So I would say this is an active area. Back then, his night vision scope had no recording capability, so like your modern day thermals, it's I'm looking at the Sig Sauer thermal right now. It's a clip-on, basically for rifles, but you can use it for handheld also. That's exactly what I want. I want something I can throw on a rifle, and not for shooting a Bigfoot, but to throw on a rifle. So it has nighttime. I have nighttime shooting capabilities, but also use it as a handheld. Sig right now is the only one on the market with a lifetime warranty on their thermals, no questions asked. You send it in, they fix it, make it right, and it records photos and video with a 9-hour rechargeable battery life. So you get a few batteries, and you're good for the weekend. So that is the direction I'm going, I think, for a new thermal. And I want to get a PBS 14 white phosphor. It's been on my want list for a while now, so I think this is the year that's going to happen. That's like looking almost like daylight at nighttime through night vision. The thing with night vision is you can look through glass. You can walk with night vision. It's hard to walk with thermal. It just doesn't give you the definition you need, and you can't see through glass. Whereas night vision you can. You just got to practice a little bit as far as the walking thing. But I've looked through a lot of green night vision, and I looked through one white phosphor, and I definitely want the white phosphor. Just a lot easier on my eyes. Alright, there's the lean-to. We're going to walk down here just a little farther to the corner of the trail. Alright, we made it out to the corner here. So I originally hiked out here after that report. I believe that was a trail right there. Turns into just a single track and goes outside of the park. That right there goes to the west end of the park. And that's the way we came. This is a 90-degree bend here. So here's where we are. There's the lean-to, the cabin, and way up here is where we started. That direction there is going this way. Beginning of the video was up in here on the beach. It's a fun park, really cool place. But yeah, originally I came in on that little trail there. Parked outside of the park, walked in. That cuts your walk by like a third, or down to a third. Originally when I had that large limb snap was down in that direction. So, and it was loud, which meant it was large. This right here, I believe, I'd have to go back and read footnotes, but right here, up by that lean-to, is which we're only talking 150 yards apart here. This is somewhere right in this area is where he had that experience on the mountain bike. In that direction, which is south of the park, outside of the park, on private land, is where Phil Shaw and his friend had the encounter, sighting through night vision. Watched it for a little while, actually. They had no way of filming it. He was looking through a night vision rifle scope. So they are around this area. So if you want to come on and check out, just a cool, fun place to camp with the kids, or without kids. Good mountain biking trails. Just a really, really nice place. And there's Bigfoot. And who knows what else. And we're going by the cabin again on our way out. It will be a really nice, peaceful setting to spend a few days. Whatever you got to bring in, you'd have to carry your backpack in, though. Or bike in. You could mountain bike in with a backpack. I just noticed on the outside of the outhouse they have a tin wrapped around the bottom of it, the wood there. And that is to keep porcupines from chewing the heck out of it. They love chewing on wooden buildings. Starting to cloud up. And the temperature's dropping a little bit. But still not bad out. And it's starting to rain. I don't have a jacket. They were not calling for rain today. Oh well. I'll survive. So we got quite a ways to go. Alright, it quit raining. Still chilly out, but there's one of the last intersections. One of the first ones coming in, or the first one coming in. The last one going out. So we got a little push yet. Another quarter to half mile, I think. Half mile. We should be out. Well, I made it back to the truck. That was a good walk. Whew, miles. Oh, got my cardio in for the day. All right, well, that I will tag the BFRO report that this originated from in the title. I gotta look it up because I don't remember. I've done so many reports through the BFRO, I just don't remember the number, but I will tag that in there, and I hope you enjoyed the journey. I'm sure we'll be stopping back by through here later on this year. Peace out.